What a night at the Garden, everybody. I didn't think a game versus Brooklyn before a big road trip would be exciting, but it certainly was. And it was exciting because, well, you saw your first round pick contribute, and we'll get in. I want to talk more about Baylor Scheierman, and I don't want to overrate the night or think that it's going to make an impact on this year's team. I don't. But you might have something here with this kid as a scorer and as the salary cap crunch comes over in the future. This guy can score. He's a rookie on a rookie deal. Very impressive. We'll certainly get into that. Celtics get their 50th win of the season. So they've done that now for the 37th time in franchise history. 50 wins, 20 losses. To me, that's good. That's very good. I don't care that they've lost to Oklahoma City or that they've lost to the Cleveland or Blue Leads or any of that stuff. The Celtics are 50-20. Kristaps Porzingis tonight was awesome and was healthy. In 29 minutes, he was 9 of 13, and he did everything inside the basket. 25 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, had a steal. He was an impact on the offense and defense tonight. And it was noticeable because there was no Tatum and no Brown. Porzingis was the best player on the court tonight. He was the best player on the court. He's healthy. He talked about the sickness he had. But he said he's finally getting it back up. And his quote, I think he was trying to say Rome wasn't built in a day. That's fine. But he was the best player on the court tonight. And without Tatum and Brown, I thought Holiday played 38 minutes. I don't know how much more we'll see of him, but he's starting to get hot. His shooting touch is coming back. He's had double-digit scoring nights. Another 12 points tonight and 6 rebounds, 8 assists tonight for Jrue Holiday. 8. They're just toying with things until the playoffs. Maybe they're starting to look at how many minutes everybody should get down the stretch. There's 13 games to go, or 12 now. They're 50-20, or 50-19. So 13 games to go. Derek White, another good night. He started off slow. He went 3 of 11 from downtown, but another 18-point night for him. Turnovers weren't great. 4, but whatever. Horford had a quiet night in 31 minutes, but tonight they finally showed that double big look with Horford and Porzingis. You know what I wanted to point out on Horford tonight? I don't care that he scored 4 points or had 5 rebounds and 6 assists. But to me, there were these extra passes that Al made. One was to Scheierman in the corner, and Scheierman just knocked it down. He made it look simple. But Al in the extra pass is real. When they're at their best, they make that extra pass. I saw that from Horford tonight. I think Horford was a plus 17, by the way, led the team. But I think he was looking for Scheierman tonight. I think he was looking for Pritchard at times. And I think he was looking for Kristaps Porzingis. I think right now they're tweaking things the rest of the way. It's hard to really have takeaways, but watching Holiday tonight in his 8 assists and Horford in his 6 assists, they were looking for other guys to get their shots, and it happened. Celtics took 48 threes. They went 16 of 48, 33% from the field. They got to the free throw line 22 times. I like all those things. This is against the Nets. It's hard to really have a takeaway, but Porzingis was the best player on the court tonight, and I thought Horford and Holiday were both just 2 guys that were unselfish. It was noticeable. It was truly noticeable tonight for the Greens. So you can certainly react at 617-779-0985. I believe we're on YouTube as well, so say what's up to our YouTube chat. By the way, we got something for you coming up in a little bit here, YouTube chat. Since you join us every single night, maybe there's another way you could join us. Tease. Maybe we'll have Josh send a link out in chat coming up in a little bit. Maybe before we get out of here, we'll do that. Do you like that tease, everybody? Your thoughts on tonight's Celtics game. Reading 4 takeaways tonight This from Mass Live and our good friend Brian Rubb. The shorthanded Celtics rallied from a 9-point deficit to beat the Brooklyn Nets 104-96 for their third straight win. Sounds right. They were without Tatum, without Brown. By the way, first time all season without either one of them. 1-0. An offensive explosion in the second half helped the Green pull away the victory. Baylor Scheierman, the unexpected hero in the comeback, a career-high 20 points in 16 minutes off the bench, 6 of 7 from 3. 5 of those 6 came in the second half when they went small. That's when the Celtics took control of the game. It was midway through the second half. They went small, and they certainly found their scoring edge. I mentioned Porzingis' big night, double-double. 25 points, 12 rebounds. White, 16 of his 18 points were in the second half. So, yeah, tough first half, but that's all I care about is that they came through in the second. So they'll have a couple of days off now. They'll begin a 6-game road trip Friday night in Utah. Here are the takeaways. Porzingis showing no signs of his illness. No lingering effects. Led all scores with 14 points in the first half on 5 of 8 shooting. If you remember, he had 14 points in the fourth quarter versus the Nets the other night. But he found size mismatches all night long. He had terrific footwork. And defensively, he was a rim protector tonight. He finished the game with a game-high 22 points, also had 3 blocks. But, without their stars tonight, the offense did come out flat. They managed just 42 first-half points. They shot 35% from the field. And 61% of their shots came from behind the arc. So they were 6 of 24 without, their guy, without their starting 5 shooting better than 33%. So 2 offensive rebounds during that run. Their offense didn't look good early on. But then Derek White came alive in the third quarter. 14 points in the first 7 minutes of the third quarter. They erased the 9-point lead. And he wanted to get in the paint, but he was definitely knocking down some shots tonight. And then just the story of the night, Baylor Scheierman, he was in somewhat of a shooting slump. I remember reading some tweets where people were like, yep, Scheierman's getting looks again. He's struggling. But he did struggle early on. But he has had some double-digit nights. 4 field goals in limited opportunities. And he's been not great from beyond the arc, but tonight he found confidence. Career-high 15 points against the 76ers last week. Saw more rotation minutes on Tuesday night. And he knocked down 6 of 7 3-pointers tonight, including the buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter. And they tried to set it up for Pritchard. Instead, it was Scheierman. It helped swing the momentum in that game. A career-high 20 points tonight. He's now gone 11 of 18 from three-point range in his last 4 games. So the Celtics are going to be resting guys the rest of the way. I'm not saying Scheierman's making a case for a bigger opportunity this year. But what if they do find a late bloomer here? What if they found a guy when they need a spark for some offense like a Pritchard? Mazzulla tried a small lineup tonight, and it worked. Could Scheierman be one of the additional wings when it comes to small ball? Now, Skaz, I think we would want it to be Torrey Craig based off his experience in the playoffs, just based off his NBA experience, his size, his defense, etc., right? Just alone. The upside for Scheierman offensively is way above us, most of the guys on the bench. I mean, Pritchard's the high volume guy. Tata can have some moments, but he's not going to get the minutes in the playoffs. Maybe I'm looking ahead here, but down the stretch, could they find a late bloomer where maybe in a situation in the first round, if they're looking for some offense, they can go to Scheierman instead of like a Walsh or someone else?
Yeah, for me tonight, I think the story is still Porzingis looking healthy and being the best player on the floor when Brown and Tatum aren't out there. But Scheierman, something we haven't seen from him really this year. He came in as a shooter, a little bit raw. I don't know where he is, athletically in terms of being, an every night NBA player. I'm not sure he's quite there yet, but this is why he's here. 6 of 7 from 3, 20 points, a +4 off the bench. Like, this is exactly the kind of guy they need. And, Sam Hauser's a guy who's been a little up and down this year. A guy I wouldn't say they relied on him in the playoffs last year, but he was certainly utilized. We got fed the Hauser defense, the Hauser hunt for the last, 2 years, it feels like. And Hauser's a guy who's kind of struggled a little bit lately. So is there a chance that, you're seeing Scheierman off the bench before Craig and Hauser in the playoffs? I'd say it's not likely, but nights like tonight certainly open up the possibility that, Scheierman, if the team is really looking for anything, he could be a guy off the bench.
Could be.
Which is, that's a good place for him to be. That's a place he wasn't in a week ago.
Okay. For the people who don't understand the Baylor Scheierman story, he was, I want to say, was he Big East Player of the Year last year, Josh? No? He was outstanding for Creighton, though. And the one thing I'll say this about Scheierman, he was somewhat of a point forward. Like, he's a three that can really dribble, score, get to the basket. I'm trying to think of a comp. And I'll work on that as we talk. But this kid was a scorer. Was one of the better players in the Big East. Absolutely crushed some teams. High volume of games. I'm talking 20, 30 points. I think he might have had a 40-point game as well. So it wasn't like Baylor Scheierman was this under-the-radar guy. People knew Creighton basketball, and he was a star.
Yeah, he was first team All Big East. He was Summit League Player of the Year when he was at South Dakota State.
That's right, South Dakota State. My
transferred.
Bad. That's why I was thinking Big East player. But yes, he transferred, and he was one of those. For those that know South Dakota State, which they used to make the tournament, they're just this high-scoring three-point shooting team.
The Jackrabbits.
Yeah, but he's different. He's not a sit in the corner, spot-up shooter. He's an off-the-dribble scorer. Like, when they drafted him, I don't think they have a player with his ability. And what I mean by ability is play the wing, pick and roll, dribble into the basket, spread the floor, you're wide open, knock down a shot. Like, I think he can do many things for the Celtics. And I'm trying to find a comp. But I think he can be a guy on a second unit with Peyton Pritchard to handle the ball. Like, I think if they wanted to run a pick and roll, both Pritchard and Scheierman can handle the rock. And I think Scheierman in the pick and roll situation handling the ball is very creative. He's got long arms. He's left-handed. He does have really good ball skills, like as far as dribbling and getting into the lane. So I am a little excited for tonight because look at that salary. Look at the future salary cap. They can't keep all these guys. They can't. Whether it's Hauser's money, I don't know if Scheierman has it defensively, but he made a few nice defensive plays tonight. We haven't been able to judge the kid. And by the way, he's killing it in Maine, right? Everyone kills it in the G League, I guess. I'm a little excited for Baylor. It's March, so maybe it's nostalgic right now. Maybe I'm just thinking about the college days and the kids and what they can do. In this league, though, there are some late bloomers. All right, well, Colin's all in on Baylor talk. Let's do it.
I have a call for Baylor. Guy that can really make a play for his teammate. That's Austin Reeves. I think that's a good
not
call.
bad. I think Reeves might be a little bit bigger physically. But you know what, though? As far as maybe impact for the team, Reeves is a starter in, like,
He's not Austin Reeves.
He's not Austin Reeves as far.
That's what we're doing already?
Well, no. I do think that, like, it's funny. When the draft happened, I am trying to look back at my Baylor Scheierman comps.
Austin Reeves is like the definition of a starting shooting guard in the NBA.
Yeah. Do I think that at some point Scheierman could have that type of production? I do. Reeves is a starter.
Yeah.
Like a bona fide guy that can play 30 minutes a night.
We talked about this a little bit the other night, and someone in our chat had the same line of thinking where he's a slightly less athletic Doug McDermott. He's that kind of mold where he's a shooter, can give you a little bit at the other end. His athleticism, leaves a little bit to be desired, but, that's something you can work on.
Yeah, I was looking back at my notes because I'm going back to the draft right now. I had a comp for him.
Joe Ingles.
Oh, Joe Ingles was my comp. There it was. Yeah, you go. Yeah. Not because Joe Ingles wasn't the most athletic. But yeah, you go. You remember. See? I had two. Luke Kennard was the other one that I kind of...
Kennard, a little bit more one-dimensional, more of just a shooter, yeah.
But what I mean by what I mean by Joe Ingles, right? A guy that can stay at the top of the arc, do pick and roll, not the most athletic, even though I do think he's athletic. What I mean by Ingles is a guy that can handle the ball, that can score from the arc. I don't want to overrate him. Ingles was a bench player, right? Is he anywhere right now, or is he done? But yeah, the two comps that I had was Luke Kennard and Joe Ingles. I got a little excited tonight. But I do think guys who can handle the ball and get to the basket, the Celtics have Jaylen Brown who can do that. And you know what? Derek White was doing it tonight. You don't see that often from him because he doesn't have to. Tatum obviously can do it. Drew can do it. Horford can do it in a different capacity. But as far as explosive off the dribble, they got like 3 or 4 guys. I think Scheierman's one of them. I don't want to overrate anything. I guess we'll calm down on the Austin Reeves scenario. I'm starting to walk myself back on that one a little bit. Lynn was at the game tonight. Hi, Lynn.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing great. Long time, first time caller.
Thank you.
My son is a 6 to 6 listener, and we had a wonderful time at the game. I'm just waiting for there to be more crashing of the paint. I think Missoula has got such a deep bench that he's able to make it so that it's hard for teams to scout who's going to be playing.
That's true, and I think the Celtics have an advantage right now of doing that.
I really do, and I want to see everybody stay healthy, and I think that he's saving, our primo players so that they don't get injured. What have we got? 12 games left.
Yep. Hey, why do you think your son could listen to our show?
Oh, he's listening right now. He's my Uber home.
Oh, so he only listens to 6 to 6 though, huh?
He only listens 6 to 6. I don't know.
What happened?
I just know that he.
What happened? Does he not stick around for the night show?
I just started listening to the Tempian show when I'm Ubering my mom home from the Celtics games. Joe, I always listen to you, bud.
Did you hear that, Joe?
I heard it. Okay. We'll
Thank you so much.
You got it. We'll only allow 2 people talking on one phone for one night. Because that was kind of like that was fun. That was fine. We don't allow 2 people talking. Remember the time with the back and forth?
We've had a few, Joe.
We have guys who call in, then pass the phone to somebody else, and I'm out.
6 to 6, Joe. I was worried that either A, we were being slighted and they were listening, or that they were just a massive Joe Murray and maybe Fox Sports fan and they were listening 6 to 6.
Like 6 to 6 a.m.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Skaz, I've heard Fred. I've actually spoken to Fred Toucher about this when I was on mornings. And I'm sure you get this too. Maybe Josh gets it now that he says, hey, I'm interning at 98.5. But have you ever noticed that people will tell you that they don't listen, but then they'll see you and bring up something that you said? So are you telling me that you don't listen to the show, but you're telling me that you're listening? That happens to me all the time.
Joe, big fan. Don't really catch the show too much.
Yeah. But you know what? Let me tell you. Austin Reeves. Yeah, kid. No, thank you. Hey, listen. We'll take all the help we can get at night. We will. Yeah, Joe Ingles. Scheierman looks better, but yeah, that's my comp. Luke Kennard's had a nice little career. I got excited tonight. Good player. Baylor's I'm telling you, this kid was really good in college, and sometimes it doesn't transition, and it is just one night. Hey, Peyton Pritchard was a great college player, too. Oh, and that's turning around a little bit. Ross is in Quincy. What's up, Ross?
Oh, I saw Big Joe. How you doing?
How you doing?
Excellent. Hey, Baylor Scheierman, good little player. I mean, his ceiling is what Sam Hauser is, no? Is he maybe just insurance for when Sam Hauser gets a little too big for his britches?
I think he's better.
Also,
personally, I think his upside's way better.
It's close. But I think Baylor Scheierman, we always get criticized for kind of hyping up our own guys.
So I was going to say that. So I'm sure tomorrow some show is going to say, did you hear Joe Murray last night talking about Baylor Scheierman?
Of course.
And
you know what?
I hope you know, though. This isn't like a one-time thing. Like some guys don't know who Cooper Flagg is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me,
that's for 6 to 6 listeners.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go. Maybe we should just get shirts that say 6 to 6.
Yeah, come on. That's like the new pink hat.
But for real though, Scheierman was a baller, and the fact that he fell to the Celtics, he's been very good, and he has struggled of late. But to see him go off for 20 tonight, I think it's maybe he's a late bloomer.
Yeah, I know, but it was a fake game. There was no Tatum, there was no Brown. It's just fake.
Yeah, but my whole thing though, if it's a fake game, don't you? It's the first time all year that both of them haven't played together, and Scheierman.
Listen, JD Davidson and can't do it, so it's easier said than done. He's had a million opportunities. Jordan Walsh will be a player in the league for probably 10 years with defense.
Yeah, so I guess where I'm saying is, I know it's just one game. I think Scheierman has really good skills. And and when I say Joe Ingles was a damn good player in the NBA for a long time who played for good teams and could knock down threes.
How about Brian Cardinal? All right, hey, listen, Joe, I'm driving right now on the Brockton line. Give me your favorite social or bar pizza.
Well, it's Town Spa, no doubt.
I know. That's the easy answer. Give me something give me in the woods a little bit. I know you're a North Shore guy.
I like Venus. You ever been to Halifax has Venus? I know.
There we go. That's like Venus 3. There's Venus 1, 2, 3. Venus fell
I go to the other one
Venus
down at Marshfield. But Skaz lives out that way. What do you got, Skaz?
Yeah, Tuesdays, I think they're closed, but Stoney's in Middleborough has a pretty good pie.
There we go. That's a deep dive. I like that. I can appreciate that. That's on the edge of my kind of area, but
I haven't been out to the Brockton area in a while, but I did like that Barrels and Boards when I met those people.
Oh yeah, that's on 138.
They got that hanging bacon, bro.
That's what it is. That's the cheat code right there. Hey, I appreciate the time. I'm going to end before you kick me off. Okay.
Thank you. Can you cut that? That's the cheat code. Can that be another shirt? That's the cheat code?
Yeah, the Celtics cheat code is Porzingis. Joe, what's your cheat code?
Yeah, that hanging bacon. Oh, I can already tell I'm going to get ridiculed tomorrow for the Baylor Scheierman talk. I can already feel it in my bones. But I have been consistent on Scheierman. When he got drafted, I liked him. Tonight, dude knocked down shots, could play off the dribble, played 16 minutes. All right, well, it's March Madness, everybody. There was a buzzer beater earlier. And you know what? We want to have some fun with you guys. So we got something for you. We'll throw it into our chat channel. So if you want to know what that is, I'll probably talk about it and tease it for you on the air. But the only way you're going to be able to at least entertain it is in our YouTube chat.
That's what it is.
That's the cheat code. That's the cheat code. How many do you have in the systems, guys?
I mean, we're pushing double digits easy at this point. I probably got 50. I could put a compilation of noises together. And I would say, when we first started the noises, it was 95 to 99% Joe.
Yeah.
I would say over the last couple months, we're at like 70-30 now, 65-45.
Do you think I've influenced it, or do you think it's organic?
I think it's like almost like a call and response, Joe, like where they call in and it's organic in that they don't expect to be doing it, but they've heard you do it so many times that it's almost muscle memory at this point.
Well, the guy the other night goes, "Hey, Joe, I listen at night, and my kids always go, is he listening to Meatballs Murray?" Oh. But the kids said that. The kids called me Meatball Murray. Not like... when people say kids say the darndest things, like that one is killing me. I'm knee slapping over that one. All right. You know what? Let's go to break. Hey, our good friend Noah Dalzell is on postgame on NBC Sports Boston. The all-female cast tonight. Congratulations. Excellent job, Abby Chang. I saw Jackie McMullen out there. And Delino DeShields' daughter. That's what we discovered that tonight. For those that know, the old Expo.
Connecticut Sun player, third overall pick in 2018.
There you go. Someone said Meatballs Murray. That's a shirt.
Ooh.
How about that Kristaps Porzingis?
Ooh.
All right. We'll go to break. Get the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
No broadcast. Yes. Ooh. What else is going on tonight? Scheierman, great depth piece. Gotta love a lefty, huh? Love a nice lefty shooter. People love the Joe, can you talk about the JFK files? I went down a rabbit hole of that one night. And I'm going to Vegas, but if you go to Vegas, you should go to the Mob Museum. They have a lot on that, by the way. So I don't have an opinion. You should just go to the Mob Museum, and then you'll find out for yourself. People are talking North Shore. Anyways, we started the show tonight with this something that I saw from Tom Curran today that just kind of blew my mind, and this was a reporting, so I don't think that this is Curran's take. I think he's reporting what he heard. The Patriots were exceedingly wary of the negative impact a demanding veteran wideout could have on Drake May. As a result, they weren't in the game on talented guys like DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams. I hate this. Hate. Give me a real, I'm talking real example of a star player having a negative impact on a quarterback. Now, earlier tonight, we mentioned Stephon Diggs going to Houston. CJ Stroud regressed last year. But, I'm talking big-time receiver. And I can't. Did Tyreek Hill hurt Tua? Did A.J. Brown hurt Jalen Hurts? Just stop. I'm out on it. And to me, I feel like it's breadcrumbs to follow that they're probably going to go line and not go after a star receiver. Hate the take. If that's the case, hate it. Out. Deshaun, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Joe? What's going on?
How you doing?
Good. I want to tell you guys, you guys were on fire earlier in your guys' show because everything you guys touched on is exactly what I kept trying to tell Patriots faithful. Like I said, the Patriots are in no position to be choosy or choosy or however you want to put it. Because, like I said, they always complain about character this, character that, or whatever. But you have to sit and ask yourself, how badly do you want to win? Because those guys will produce on the field. You got to understand, those type of guys that really can play at the position, whatever, are going to they're going to come with a little bit of drama at times or whatever. But, it's pros and cons to it. But the thing I'm looking at, can you produce on the field? Are you going to get me wins? That's what I'm looking at. But the Patriots at times don't really see it that way. They always feel like they got their nose stuck up in the air and then they could, be choicy in their position. But when they can't, and the thing that gets me too, that they have all this cap space, whatever, but they actually could have signed every quality free agent and still have money left over. But they're so picky when it comes to their choice as far as who they want on the team.
You're right.
If they're really in that position. That's the thing that really triggers me.
I appreciate you, Deshaun. Thank you. Thank you. Adams in Ipswich.
Hey, Joe, I fight with you all the time about the Bruins, but this is actually a football take for the first time ever. But I have issues, and you bring it up all the time. All these first-year quarterbacks look and seem so great. Once the NFL has pardon my language.
Nope. Stream got that one. Don't worry about it, Josh. Not your fault, buddy. What did I do? I overhype first round quarterbacks. What?
Nah, I was just focused on the dump, Joe.
No, I got you. You got it. Dump, 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 dump. Da-dump. The chat just heard that. What was he talking about, though? Joe, I always fight with you about this, but tonight is about football and quarterbacks. What did I say that was wrong? You know, if I sat here all night thinking about what I said that was wrong, Skaz, I don't think I don't think we're gonna get an answer. Not saying I'm always right. We give opinions, right? That's what we do. We swing and miss sometimes, man. We swing and miss. Well, we're trying to do something as a show. And there's only limited access. So, everybody, if you want to hang out with us and do a bracket, we're going to do a show bracket. We're going to put it in our YouTube chat. And space is very limited. So, if you actually want to fill out a bracket against myself, Skaz, intern Josh, or intern Trent, we're in. There's no prize. It's just doing a bracket versus us. And Josh is going to throw it in the YouTube chat now. And you better sign up quick because it's gonna fill out. So if you want to hang out with us and join, here we go. Put it in the old chatteroonie, and we're already in there. And who knows if this goes well, maybe next year they can make a big deal about it and get like hundreds of people in. So you can throw that in the chat now. And we'll go to break. We'll wrap this thing up on the other side here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
is Bubba Cunningham as they lead San Diego State, North Carolina by 30 points. Well, we all said that they shouldn't be in, and that's why I bet them tonight, because they blow it out. San Diego State, but Bubba, I bet you Bubba's counting his 100,000 right now. I wonder how much money he makes when they advance to the next round. Bubba. Something's going on with that guy, Skaz. You watch. You heard it here first. There's something fishy about that guy. He's going to be wearing his cut sleeves, North Carolina. Full show tomorrow night. Hang out with us 6 to 10 p.m. By the way, the time's changing soon. It's going to be late nights. Thanks to intern Josh, James Scaramazino. I'm Joe Murray. Talk to you tomorrow.